This week on Take It Outside.
That's the biggest thing that people have to get used to is the speed of the game and how crazy it goes. And you got to switch from dancing to entertaining to being the fans to playing and all that so quickly.
We're lucky, honestly, we got in when we did because it's getting so hard to get in. Like I joke about it all the time. If we tried out now, I wouldn't make it.
And when the Latins find out about trick plays, it's going to get wild.
Yeah. They told me something that was very interesting, that catchers a lot of times can throw faster but less accurate than pitchers. Is that true?
I would say faster and more accurate.
You can guess who the catcher in the room is.
This podcast was brought to you by Outsider. Check us out at www.outsider.com. Outsider is an outdoor lifestyle brand owned and operated by me, retired Navy SEAL Sam Mackey, and my dear friend and former NFL quarterback Jay Cutler. At Outsider, we encourage everyone to get outside and enjoy all that life has to offer. Head over to outsider.com to check out our unique patent-pending drinkware. Outsider's drinkware can be customized with your personal or business logo. Go to outsider.com, upload your logo, and we will send you visual proofs and great wholesale pricing. And don't forget, get outside and enjoy all that life has to offer.
Welcome back to the Take It Outside podcast. I'm your host, Sam Mackey, and as always, I have my co-host, Smoking Jay Cutler. He looks a little confused. You all right?
New setup, so I'm looking for my camera.
All right. Today we have some very special guests, 4 baseball players, 2 from the Savannah Bananas and 2 from the Party Animals. You guys are... Okay, here we go. All right, from the Savannah Bananas, we have Wild Bill Leroy and pitcher Kyle the Cowboy Lugas.
Nailed it.
Lugas? Lugas?
It's close enough.
Gold jacket, green jacket.
He can barely read. So.
Yeah. I'm struggling through this right now. And for the Party Animals, we have pitcher Brett the Hitman Helton and Deadeye Garrett Delano.
Deadeye, huh? Nice.
I gave everyone nicknames today.
I didn't know if this was...
I had a whole bit I practiced yesterday. And then
Who's your audience when you practice this?
I get read it to Mary on the way home from preschool, and she's like 4. She thought I knocked it out of the park.
Well, what's your nickname? Do you have a nickname?
No, I don't.
Oh, damn.
Let's give you one.
Yeah, I'll send it.
We got.
We'll work on it.
Yeah. So I appreciate you guys coming on, and congratulations on making it on time after your first night in Nashville.
Yeah, that's right.
You guys hit the streets last night?
Yeah, we hit a couple. Whiskey Road took care of us pretty well.
There you go.
Uh-huh.
Good.
We made it.
It was fun down there. What was it, Thursday night? I'm sure it was happening down there.
Every night down there is like Saturday night, though.
Yeah.
So I do have an overall question. What's the main difference between banana ball and baseball?
The main difference is just the vibe. Like we come in, our whole show's like top to bottom. You know, it starts way earlier. We've got bands going. It's loud. It's like our game is more like a show with a lot of things planned. And then, it's kind of just like karaoke on steroids with a ton of baseball, acrobatics, kind of everything. So the game, we have got a couple different rules, but the game itself is really the same. You know, if you watch, it's going to be the same as any baseball game you've seen, but with a ton of extra antics in between pitches. Like the competition's still like stiff. We're all, we all take it so serious that like the baseball feel is always there. But in between innings, it's madness. It's always singing. It's always loud. So, I mean, just the whole atmosphere in general is completely different, but the game itself stays pretty pure.
But the competitive edge is still there. You guys are out there to win and to beat these guys.
Oh, yeah.
Although we don't like them.
Yeah, we take
Where'd
it
you
really
guys play
serious.
baseball at? In college? Yeah, everyone played college
Yeah,
ball?
I went to North Georgia and Jacksonville State. Met Bill at North Georgia. You did
Brown University, then
Mercer.
Mercer Bears.
He's the smartest idiot I've ever met.
Yeah, so we got a good mix of guys. Some guys played, everyone played college ball at some point, and then some guys played like high college. Some guys got drafted and played pro ball. I played for the Pirates for a little while, and then bounced around a bunch of pro balls, and then came here later. So I'm one of the old heads who kind of did all that before, and then came here later, after my stuff was kind of all done.
Sure.
And then, but yeah, we need young guys. We need guys that are fresh out of college, like going to be here for multiple years, and we need the old guys to kind of make sure there's like some sort of locker room etiquette, and guys know what the travel life is, and getting people involved who have been through everything that pro ball brings as far as contracts and money and travel and living and all those things. It really helps those guys who just come out of college not knowing anything. So it's kind of a perfect little mix. And then definitely we got some social media guys that dominate that, and then everyone mixed together is pretty sweet.
Does the antics or the showmanship take away from everything you just mentioned? Like, for example, I could see people looking at it through a different lens as like, hey, it is baseball, but it's a showmanship and all this. And it seems to me they would come in with a more of a loose attitude. Vice if you go into a pro organization, like, oh shit, I need to have everything together because of all the contracts and everything like that. So it's good to hear that they have mentors, folks have mentors like yourself that come into this game. But is the attitude different of folks that come in? Are they expecting something different, and then realize it's like just straight up very serious, just like pro ball?
I mean, a lot of the new guys, I don't think they expect it to be as serious competitive as them when they actually show up. But they learn very quick that like the biggest change I would say for the new guys is probably social media. People aren't used to posting. People don't know exactly what they want to post, who they want to be online, how much they want to share, how much they don't want to share. But I would say that I don't think people come in knowing how competitive it's going to be. So that's probably the biggest shock when they show up.
But I love what you guys are doing because, I've been to some Cubs games and stuff like that. But, watching baseball on TV is boring. And most baseball games are boring. Have you been to many Major League Baseball games?
I've been to a few, but do I go there to watch the game? No, I go there to slam beers.
But these baseball games, these baseball games are fun. Yeah. They're a blast to go and see. Is the plan to expand and get more teams and make it bigger? I think that would be the idea of getting more teams out there and having kind of a traveling league. Yep. Is that kind of the expectation? Sure. Kind of where you guys want to go with this?
6 teams next year.
Oh,
starting.
Really?
So we have 2 other teams starting pretty soon here. We'll have 4 teams rolling, playing across the entire country, and next year we'll have 6 teams in a league. We're still trying to figure out a lot of those details, but it's going to be pretty crazy.
Go ahead.
How are they structuring that? Are they taking like a core group of you guys and shotgunning you out to these new teams to be mentors and to show folks how it's ran? Or is that going to be its own entity itself?
Yeah, because we've been kind of beating our heads in because we've been playing each other for the past 3 years every game.
Yeah.
Which you don't see in any other sport, which I think is really crazy. But yeah, they've moved guys, kind of core guys that fit the other team brands better. And kind of move those to kind of be the leaders to start those teams, and people around them can rally around them. So that's pretty cool to see. And then, moving towards 6 teams, it'll get more towards like that conference or like division play you would see in other sports, which we're all super thrilled about. I know 3 of us are pitchers, so we're pretty excited to face some different hitters for the first time in 3 years.
These guys,
there's only one cool guy here. So.
They've seen every pitch you got.
Yeah. Exactly. And then some.
So in one of my platoons, we had 2 baseball players. One played for the Seattle Mariners. Yeah, and the other played for the Cleveland Indians. One was a pitcher, one was a catcher. And they told me something that was very interesting, that catchers a lot of times can throw faster but less accurate than pitchers. Is that true?
I would say faster and more accurate.
You can guess who the catcher in the room is. Their arms are strong.
The guy that's not 6'4"?
Catchers are really good at pitching from behind the plate.
Honestly, we throw more than everybody.
Guys are good pitching from the stands, and once you're on the mound, it's a little different. but yeah, dude, it's sweet. Some dudes just got cannons. They just play outfield. It's kind of hilarious, and that's what's fun about seeing dudes just get insanely athletic sometimes, where you're like, aren't you just a pitcher? But dude, the athletes can kind of sneak around, or if they actually could get on the mound, they'd probably rip it.
Yeah.
All right, so when you guys go to 6 teams, is there going to be a draft? Are you guys going to have a hard time finding guys? That's a pretty big undertaking to go from 2 teams to, 4 more guys. Or 4 more teams. It's a lot of players, 120 players or so.
I can let some of you guys touch on it. Yeah. I don't think that we'll have an issue filling out teams. I think we've just created so much just noise around the country with people
these
seeing
tickets sell out in that.
Yeah. So everybody, I feel like for the most part, if you're a ball player and you're seeing this and you're at least intrigued by it, even if you don't know what it is. I think for the most part, outside looking in, a lot of times it's is it really competitive? Can it be a joke? Blah blah. Because they see all the dancing and people on stilts and stuff on fire, and people get to the games or players come in to a tryout or come hang out with us and like, oh, these guys are like ball players just doing crazy things. I think for the most part that message has got out there that we're like competitive and like it's still a game. Like we're still trying to beat these guys. I can't stand to lose these guys. And so once people realize that and have seen that over the last couple of years, I feel like more people are like wanting to play banana ball and understanding what it is. So.
I mean, I kind of relate to. I mean, I don't know if this is going to insult you guys, but I mean, the Harlem Globetrotters were around forever. I mean, and they had that basketball thing, and I mean, I think you guys are much more competitive and growing that. But I think there's a similarity of mixing a sport with entertainment and going out there and putting something on for the fans, but also being competitive. So I think it's a great idea. I think it's gonna blow up.
I heard Mark Cuban, and this is a long time ago. He wanted to buy a baseball team or something of that nature, and he wanted to do something to almost to the extent of what you guys are doing. He's like, I want music. I want guys to come out and they strike out. I want them breaking bats over their knee and over their head, and I want to fire it up. And I feel like I heard this about 10, 12 years ago. How long have you guys been around now?
The start was 2016.
Okay.
They started, and it was a summer ball league, pretty much just like you would see all around the country. It's for guys during the summers to leave their colleges and go get reps and work on stuff. And then me and Bill started in 2018 was our first summer with the CPL team. Garrett started with us too. And then me and Bill kind of just stuck and stayed there. Garrett went around and played at some other places. And then we kind of went all in on the banana ball thing and moved away from traditional baseball in the summer league in 2022. I believe, and started playing banana ball. So that was like the jump, but we were still trying to do entertaining stuff and, entice fans through a different lens of baseball in that CPL team from 2016 to 2021. But we were kind of handcuffed. There's only so much stuff that you can do around the regular game of baseball. And then that's when banana ball kind of came in.
And, we got fined like every game, every year for playing music, like playing music where everyone's supposed to, doing stuff. Like we broke every like rule that we had in the CPL.
I remember when SportsCenter started putting stuff on, SportsCenter started picking you guys up and putting you on highlights and stuff like that. And I think that's.
I do remember that.
Yeah. Ball started getting rolling a little bit. Who comes up with the dances?
we have a whole entertainment team.
Yeah, I was going to ask that. Is there a whole creative team that kind of helps come up with all this stuff?
Yeah, there's a whole creative team. We have basically a professional dancer, choreographer that actually teaches us. Yeah. So
I was going to say, you guys are really good dancers.
Well, we don't
this guy. Show
I'm not much of a dancer.
Decent listeners.
Thankfully, they keep the non-dancers around too. So.
You got the crab thing, man.
Yeah, we got a bunch of people. There's probably, I don't even know the number. How many people are on creative?
It's a lot. It's definitely
20 full-time people that are in creative, coming up with ideas. Then we have our professional dance choreographer, and we have a couple people that help him out. So,
it's a moving production.
We travel from Savannah here with 200 people.
Yeah. So everyone's based in Savannah.
Yeah.
When you guys practice in Savannah.
Yeah.
How often do you guys practice?
We get one day off.
Mondays are off day, and then like we're practicing, rehearsing, whether it's hitting or dancing, whatever we have going on that week.
Grinding these dudes, huh?
What's the cadence of the week look like? What's your guys' week look like typically?
It would be we'll play, for example, like this Saturday. We're going into an off week next week, but if we weren't, we would play Saturday. We'll stay here for an off day if we need like to make up for rain. We would stay here for Sunday, go back Monday, and then in theory you would get Tuesday off. And then Wednesday would be practice. Thursday would be practice with like rehearsals and getting into what the script has for next weekend's games. And then you'd probably fly out or you'd bus the next day after that.
When do you practice all the dancing and choreo? Whatever the fuck it's called.
Yeah, we usually do like a couple hours before or after practice.
Okay.
On a practice day, and then like tomorrow's game day. So, actually today we have, for our football stadiums, we have a full rehearsal day.
Okay.
So we're going today to do like the whole run through of the game. So we'll practice it all today. Tomorrow we'll do another hour or two before the game, practice the rehearsal stuff again.
So you guys practice together for the most part?
Yeah, we're always together. Practices together, travel together. A lot of us live together. And that makes it really cool. And a lot of the stuff too, like we got the whole team, but there's a ton of stuff that we end up coming up with that's kind of our ideas or a trend that we did or that was, kind of fun and exciting. So then that part's kind of cool when, if somebody's idea, on your team and especially if it goes really well.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that we get really excited about too, because it's like they don't know that we came up with that, and we practice it and stuff. But yeah, I mean, I was just talking to somebody about it the other day about our run throughs, because the ball training never stopped. You're still lifting, you're still training every day in practice, and all that stuff is pretty normal. And then on top of it, you got this creative piece that takes up a ton of time. Your social media takes up a ton of time, and then like practicing and putting together. So I mean, doing what we do now is hilarious, just because the workload is so much different. It's not like anymore. There's a lot more time that you're focused on kind of everything, bringing it all together with the social media and the practice and the rehearsals, and you got your baseball training. So now it's kind of having the whole thing involved makes it way more kind of intense. So we'll have probably like a 7-8 hour rehearsal today, and just kind of all those pieces with a little bit of a scrimmage. Like we're going to run it really like a game, so we know our cues, we know when the music comes on. We know that we got to dance in between the second and third inning, so it's kind of like we got to do it all, because
I mean, you guys got to keep your sport tight, but you guys are also entertainers. I mean, they have to know, like you said, their cues and their dance moves and everything else. It's there's a lot there.
Are you guys just selling out everywhere you play now?
Yep.
Yes.
I don't think me and Bill, I don't think we've not played in front of a sold out crowd since we played for the Bananas.
Since 2018 to now.
What?
Unless like COVID, there was the 30% or 50% rule.
When they played here last year, maybe 2 years ago, in the AAA set or AA, whatever it is, it sold out in like literally 15 minutes max. 15 seconds is gone.
You guys asked, or the Savannah Bananas, that's a tough fucking thing to say for a guy that stutters. I'm just going to put that out there. We're looking at a name change when he restructured. Asked Jay to throw out the first pitch and then ghosted him last year, didn't they? Or was that the year before last?
I forget. It was a couple of years ago. But it was somebody that reached out from the team. That's not a problem.
Who was it? Who was it?
I just wanted to try to start shit right there.
Somebody texted me.
Who did?
Someone texted me.
Okay.
It's probably Franz.
What's his name?
Zach.
It was definitely Zach.
Put him on blast.
It was Zach. I have no idea who it was, honestly. So when's the off season then?
What?
What does that term mean?
We get a good 6 weeks.
We get about 6 weeks off. They give us Thanksgiving, Christmas.
Yeah, Christmas.
Like
month of December, end of November, kind of. That was the one last week.
Have they came up with the names for the other 4 teams yet?
We
have the 2 firefighters and tailgaters. They're in practicing right now, about to play, and then the next 2 are secrets.
Gotcha.
We've been trying to gouge it out of it. We'll find out eventually. We got our guesses.
So if baseball didn't work out, what were you guys going to do? Anybody have anything else they were going to do?
Yeah, I mean, like boring ass job. I wanted to be a financial advisor.
Okay,
all right.
Yeah,
that sounds terrible.
That was a dream of mine.
You're not advising any of my finances.
He's the smartest dumb guy we know.
It's an Ivy League degree, man.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yeah,
be a chiropractor.
Yeah. I do that part-time chiropractic. Yeah, I learned how to crack people's necks on YouTube.
You're a part-time chiropractor.
Yeah.
Amateur tattoo artist, volunteer firefighter.
Self-taught. But yeah, that was my big, huge dream.
What about you guys? You guys have a plan B at all, or think about anything else?
It kind of fell into me and Bill's lap right when we got done. Yeah. So we were lucky enough not to really have to think about a plan B.
Sure.
I probably would have went something down the golf route. I would like to be like in some kind of sales for golf stuff. That's the only real thing that is super passionate, I think, besides baseball. And then you've got the bar out in Colorado.
Yeah, I mean, when I first got released by the Pirates, I opened a bar in my hometown. It was kind of like the first thing. I was like, I kind of wanted something to do. Didn't have, wasn't on contract, and didn't know if I was ever going to keep playing. So I opened that, and then played some more pro ball after that for a few years, and then kind of just like started messing around, buying and selling a few things, and opened a couple more businesses. So that was kind of cool. Like I love having a business life at home, and then definitely having my baseball life still, which is pretty awesome. But yeah, I mean, at that point, once I got released, it was like, all right, I'm done. I got to figure something else out.
Yeah.
And then got to play a little bit longer, and then this, came about. So doing it all together is pretty insane. But yeah, I mean, this is way more fun than any of that, together and still getting to play is
for sure.
Is the best.
What's the tryout process?
Ours was different because we all played for the summer team. So your college coach kind of throws you there.
Okay.
So we played for them. Me and him and Kyle played for a full summer, so we didn't really have a tryout. We played with them before. The other tryouts are kind of like you show up, you do our typical dances to kind of see how you move, and you kind of get to know you. Do some walk-ups, do some celebrations, and then play baseball. So I haven't been to one recently. Tryout?
Yeah, I ran one of them in Dallas last year.
So you got to do some dance moves for the tryout.
You got to show up and show out.
You got to show up.
You got to stand out some way. The outfits are ridiculous.
Yeah, great baseball player, shitty dancer.
We're lucky, honestly. We got in when we did because it's getting so hard to get in. Like I joke about it all the time. If we tried out now, I wouldn't make it.
Really, it's just hard to stand out. I mean, we got guys doing backflips in the outfield, and guys on stilts, and guys with fire bats, and guys like just doing all kind of crazy stuff, break dancing and throwing a pitch. Like I couldn't have done all. I feel like I can't just like stand out. I'm a gamer. Yeah. I don't know if I could just show up at a tryout and be like, we need that guy over like the rest, So
well, if you show up, and even if you're not a crazy, entertaining dude, if you're just a normal guy but you're a baller, like you still got to get shot.
Yeah.
Like, it's not completely.
We can teach you to dance.
Oh yeah.
We can teach you to dance.
I've been here for 5 years. I still don't know how to dance. Yeah. But I'll get out there and look like an idiot, and it's just as funny sometimes.
Yeah, and our tryouts are great too because the guys that don't dance, they're still showing up in like a costume or something. Our tryouts are insane because everyone's dressed up, everyone's got something. They're all competing to just get
what are they
attention.
dressed in?
Oh, dude, it's like Halloween. It looks like Halloween out there. It's like
chicken costume, UFC fighter,
helmet,
football player.
About it probably looks similar.
Yeah, it's like a Halloween party, and like people are out there and they slide in second, tear their stuff all up, lose all their gear, and people are doing flips, and I mean it's pretty madness, but it's cool because they give you a dance that you have to memorize before you show up, and they kind of test you on it when you get there, and then they also teach you a dance, one of ours that we all know once you get there. So you're going to be tested on the dance you're supposed to memorize to see if you can do that, and then they kind of like drop one on you to see if you can figure it out in the moment, and then after you kind of do all that, you just practice. So then you got guys who have never done any trick plays in a game trying to catch a fly ball behind their back, with pressure and in a costume. And then in the middle of it, they'll stop it all. And they're like, all right, let's do that dance. And everyone's like, oh, no, the dance. And then so it's cool that they're tested kind of under the fire.
Yeah. So glad I didn't have to go through that.
Tryouts
when we went trick plays didn't exist when we started. No. Dancing was a thing, but it was kind of just, hey, during the fourth, you're going to jump on top of the dugout and do a little this, and costumes weren't really a thing.
And now it's like breakdancing 3-minute bits of like movie scenes, and like you're just like it's intense for sure.
And it's kind of perfect too because like that's the biggest thing that people have to get used to is the speed of the game and how crazy it goes, and you got to switch from dancing to entertaining to being the fans to playing and all that so quickly. So it really is a pretty good representation if guys are capable of doing that, because like they'll show up to a game and we're so used to it, and our show flows so naturally out of us now because we've done it so many times. Like people will come and they're just in a blender and their head is spinning and they forget things, and if they had to be in the stands or something and they'll forget it, or they're like standing there, everyone's doing a t-shirt toss and they're like, oh, t-shirt, what? So it's cool that we can kind of replicate that a little bit. But if someone just comes in and jumps into one of our games, they're going to get left in the dust because we go quick, and it's really, really madness. And us being able to perform and do that is pretty cool. But
absolutely,
if we can somehow get that process quicker of guys getting acclimated to the difference of kind of like what games are, they end up prospering pretty quick.
Have you talked to anybody that went through one of those rigorous tryouts that made it and asked them how they prepared? Because me being a weirdo, I would go get a dance coach. I can't dance. I'd go get a dance coach and focus on trick plays and things like that. Is anyone doing anything like that?
Get what are they called? Gymnastics coaches?
Yeah.
Like in the off season, they went to a gymnastics studio and learned like backflips and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't know about a dance coach. I don't know if anybody's done that, but the acrobatics is definitely a thing.
Yeah, you see guys constantly going into like gyms like that, learning to flip and tumble and. Yeah.
Backflips make people go crazy.
Oh, yeah, they do.
And they're not that hard.
Thing in the world.
Can you do a backflip?
I can. I learned in 5 minutes how to do it. I won't be doing it right now, though.
I was about to say. This seems like a good spot for one.
No, but a backflip is just crazy. Yeah. And we have a guy that does a front flip. People don't really care.
No.
So much harder. So much harder.
Nearly.
But backflip, everyone just goes nuts. So if you're a banana ball player, learn how to do a backflip.
You're
in 5 minutes.
5-10 minutes. Maybe remember that day we all learned.
Jump, tuck, and commit. Huh?
Yeah.
Straight up.
Yeah.
Is there a ceiling of like shit you guys like all right, we can't go over this ceiling. Like it's just too much.
No,
it's just too,
not really.
No.
As soon as we do that, someone shows up and just does something crazy, and we're like, well, that's the new bar. And it's like, do we got to learn that too? You know, it's kind of hilarious where, you know, like the backflip thing is kind of funny where it started with a couple guys, and then now it's like, we got like 25 dudes who can do one.
Ripping
and then like
catches.
every day you kind of look in the outfield and someone's getting taught, you know, our choreographer who's so great will just like, someone will ask him, like, can you teach me? And then you look out and they're doing the outfield, and then the next thing you know, they're doing it, you know, as part of one of our dances. And we're like, it was last week and you couldn't do that. So we definitely raise it kind of for everybody.
Yeah.
Dancing's pretty cool too, you know, watching dudes who absolutely cannot dance.
Sure.
And then, you know, a couple months later, they're actually kind of grooving, and he says he can't, but he'll figure it out. He does a good job.
It's a fun space to operate because we're doing all this stuff that like nobody else is doing.
Yeah.
So we don't really, a lot of us, you know, you don't really know like your limitations.
Sure.
Like they would talk about like DR, for example, our center fielder, you know, learned how to do a backflip in like a week. And then they were like, it'd be pretty cool if you could catch a ball like during the game while you were doing a backflip. And he was like, sick. He's just this little country dude. He was like, yeah, I'll try anything. Did it, caught it, and then a couple weeks later, he did one in a game and threw his glove and just bare hand caught it and did a backflip. So it's like you don't really know how far you can go because we're doing all this stuff that nobody's really done before. So it's cool to see like people rally around each other and be like, no, that'd be sick if you try to do it. And then when they pull it off in the game, it's like the coolest shit ever.
Yeah, and they'll try something crazy, and it doesn't work out, and like you sit there and you're like, they're probably gonna do that next week. You know, it's just kind of like if they have an idea, they're gonna figure it out. Our trick play thing, you know, at first it was like, you know, we'd have maybe a couple opportunities in the whole game to maybe rip one, and then it became every single play. And then the first guy who caught a trick play at first after someone did one from shortstop completely changed the game now. So now you're looking at it and you're thinking about getting a trick pitch from the pitcher, a trick play from the first guy who got it, and first base, you know, catching a trick play. So like it's just that bar where we're like, it just never crossed our mind until someone did it. And then now it's kind of like a mainstay.
Yeah. In 2022, I think we had one trick play. It was like, I don't know how many games we played, but it was one trick play for the whole season. And like soon as Ryan Cox landed, we were all just like freaking out. Like we just completely like did something nuts. And the next year we had like Cox did over 100 by himself. And it was just like almost like I think it was like 1,000 or something on like it was just a crazy number that we pulled off. Like we went from 1 to 1,000, and now we're just doing like 2 or 3 tricks within one play. So it's just crazy to see how it's changing and changing quickly. So who knows what's next?
Yeah, I mean, being in pro ball, you're sitting there and like you see so many things every game that just kind of astound you. Guys that are crazy baseball talent, they'll make a diving play. And you kind of look around and you're like, no one's ever going to see that. And like on ESPN that night on Top 10, you know, it's better than every single play on the whole thing, but you see it every day, so you kind of get used to that. And the first time we were on ESPN, you know, we're seeing our boys up there doing a trick play, and we're like, that's so cool. And now we can sit there and we're like, there's 25 things that happen every day at one of our games that are so mind-blowing and insane that like you can't really just cover us every day. But if you did, I mean, we'd be on the top 10 plays are just like they never stop. And you sit there and they'll be doing some karaoke singing song and the whole crowd's so loud, and it's at the same time someone, you know, does a little insane backflip catch in center field and like no one even sees it. They don't cheer. You know, because the whole, you know, there's a part of the show
they're singing Taylor Swift in left field.
It's like so flipped out. And having 60,000 people all scream the same thing at once, you know, all of a sudden someone's doing something in the outfield the world's never seen, but you don't even notice because the show's dominating more than the game is, and then lots of times the game will dominate more than the show. But you cannot blink.
No, I think that's the beauty of it. I think that's why you guys have been so wildly successful is the talent's there, the entertainment's there, and you're doing things on a baseball field that are rarely, if ever, seen, you know, in the history of baseball. So it's that's why there's 60,000 people that line up to go and see them.
Yeah, you can't get a ticket for this game if you tried. They sold all the suites, they sold all the tickets to third parties, and they resold them. It's insane.
Yeah, and that's because I mean, our owner didn't try to price gouge. That's one of the reasons that they go. Like they're very affordable.
No, they're very
tickets.
reasonable. They're family oriented.
No taxes, all that stuff. So that's why.
What are some of the best pranks that have been done?
Oh my God! I mean, the one that gets me that got us was this last year when because we'll do these run cellies.
Good stuff on the road.
The run cell. We're talking about like just between guys or like?
Oh yeah.
Well, I don't know about that. I was saying during our dance routine, they pranked us and like didn't play the right music or turn the music off, and we just looked like idiots in front of. I think it was a big league crowd too. I think it was Minute Maid or something like that, and they just like completely made us look like fools. That sucked.
What about what about on the road, not on the field?
My favorite prank is just taking somebody's bed from the hotel. That's just
taking the whole bed.
The whole bed. Hilarious. It just kills me every time. Getting somebody's key and taking their bed. They come in, they're like, "What in the world?" That's one of my favorites. But
what's up, guys? Sam Mackey here. I want to tell you about today's sponsor, Spartan Forge. Spartan Forge has no doubt made me a more effective and efficient hunter. Spartan Forge was founded by former U.S. Special Operations Intelligence Officer Bill Thompson, who took his 21 years of military experience fighting the global war on terror and applied his learnings to his true love, whitetail hunting. My favorite feature on the Spartan Forge app is the LiDAR for finding draws and funnels. It also has an AI deer movement prediction tool, so you know when and where to go. It has historical wind plots for selecting stand locations, and Cyber Scout for just about anything else I need to know. Spartan Forge, a veteran-owned and operated American mapping and scouting company. Use promo code OUTSIDER20 to save 20% on a premium membership to Spartan Forge. That's OUTSIDER20, OUTSIDER20.
What about trick plays? What's the trick play that stands out to you guys? That's just you think it's very impressive.
One of the coolest ones I saw was DR. He's kind of like the backflip guy. And he started the backflip catch. He did one where he threw his glove off, backflipped, and caught it with a bare hand. And that was probably he only did it once. He never tried it again because it's so hard.
I wouldn't do it again.
And he was shocked that he caught it.
my favorite's Reese's because there's, tracking the ball and watching it kind of catching behind your back or between your legs. You can do it in a way that some look harder than the other ones and some just look so natural. It looks smooth. But he does one where he completely ducks his head, catches it completely blind into a roll, like a forward roll behind his back. Yeah. So he's up there like this and just does a full kind of front roll and pure blind, and it looks so cool. And he rolls right out of it and gets up and throws it and stuff like that.
What's his success percentage in that?
He's good.
Really?
I mean, he's on that one particular, I've never seen him miss it.
Really?
He's probably like three for three.
And he's like an 80 grade defender.
Yeah,
he's just when he's normally catching the ball.
Yeah.
He runs like a deer.
He'll also catch it like that, like full speed sprint, like over his head, behind his back, on the warning track, ball over his head, and like last minute spinning, like do that same motion and catch it like completely behind his back, blind, like on a ball that's hit 400 feet, like on a line. Yeah. And it's just like with 2 outs and the bases loaded, and you're like, what in the world is going on?
If it's anything blind.
I saw one the other day, and we were talking about you don't really know if you can do it until you do it.
Yeah.
There was the firefighters were at spring training, and one of the outfielders went in between his legs like this. Put his glove up and bit down and caught it.
They're calling it the dude wipe.
That's pretty good.
It's hilarious.
I saw it on like Instagram. I haven't even met the dude yet. And I was like, that's the most that's the most insane thing.
He's probably been here a week. And
It's like I don't even know his name.
Yeah. So we got a guy named Danny Hosley, and he does the smoothest stuff, but he's so smooth with it that people don't even really recognize what he's doing, but he's really good at trick plays. It's almost like the most casual way you do it. If you do it, the more casual you do it, the less people recognize and like realize how freaking hard that was. So you kind of got to make it look hard too. If you really want the crowd to pop, you got to make it look like you've never done it before.
You make yours look really difficult.
Yeah, whenever I go when I point at the press box.
Pitchers, we don't get a whole lot of chances. So.
No. You guys all have girlfriends?
All but
Go ahead, all of us but him. The Bachelor.
Yeah.
How's that work on the road so much?
Well, it's great. My girlfriend works for the org.
Oh, there you go.
We got it. So does his.
Yeah, so does his. And mine helps my girlfriend helps sometimes, but she used to help a lot in the past too. So they get to be a part of all this, travel with us on the road, and they accommodate us with hotels for the most part. And so having them to come help work merch or just to have the option to have them with us, see all this craziness is nice.
Nice.
Yeah, it'd be hell.
Yeah, the org is amazing about families and bringing people in and making everyone included. I mean, it starts with the fans, and that's all of our focus.
Sure.
Making people feel like they're a part of it.
Yep.
But I mean, that bleeds into everything we do, and like they're so inclusive of the girlfriends and the families and everything. You know, I brought my brother this weekend because I just know that he can be a part of kind of whatever, and it's
That's real
open
cool,
arms.
man.
And just like the girlfriend thing, if they're gonna come on the road, like they want the help too, but they'll kind of be like, "Do you want to help with merch?" You know, they know that they're gonna get somebody, but
we need 1,000 people.
But it's kind of a great way to do it, where it's kind of a cheat code, where guys are like, "Hey, you know, girlfriend, instead of us paying for this trip, like they'll fly you out," and then they end up doing it where they get more hands and people are involved, and you know, it's cool that them doing that, you know, having people sign up for like 16, 17, 18-hour days is pretty insane. Yeah. But, you know, just the way that they go about everything, it's super easy. You know, they're like, everything's cool. Bring your friends, bring your family. Everyone's included, and everyone's all fired up. And, you know, it's kind of cool waking up. You know, we thought we'd be kind of the only people awake this early, because we're start our rehearsals at like 9:30. Yeah, we're in the lobby. There's like 50 people in the lobby already, all like getting over there. They're in their polos. We're we're not even the first people up and out of the day. They're already at the stadium, you know, kicking ass. And that part's pretty.
Whenever
wild.
you guys do expand, do you guys want to go to a different team? Do you want to stay in Savannah?
I don't. I'm cool with the party animals.
Yeah, we love our party animals. I mean, it's just like it's fun because we feel responsible for building it. You know, it's kind of you know, the culture, kind of the brand. You know, we were in before there. We didn't even have a social media page for the party animals, so like it was just kind of nothing, just a bunch of guys in different uniform. And then now it's actually something special. It's kind of a bona fide team, and you know, seeing our first videos till now, I wouldn't want to be anywhere else, but. The regional stuff is making it super enticing for guys. You know, the Texas dudes are stoked that there's like a regional Texas team, so they can kind of be, you know, passionate about that. And if there's going to be one in the, you know, Pacific Northwest, like it's going to attract a lot of people. You know, we don't have anything in the West region really at all, but if there was something that would fire up the California people as being like a West Coast team, that's going to get, you know, so many people involved instead of trying to be 3,000 miles away in Georgia. So that's going to attract a lot of people, but I ain't going nowhere.
It's the same as other sports. Like you have your guys that like, you know, you're not playing as much. You know, you could go be number 5 on the Bananas or number 1 on this new team, or you know, it's not all sunshine.
I think
and
they've done a
rainbows
great job. I think they've done a great job with the growth too, of growing it, and then, you know, finally expanding, and then not just throwing 6 teams out there. I mean, you guys are now at a point, you know, in the organization and your fan base that you guys can support a lot more teams. So I think they've done a phenomenal job of kind of growing it from homegrown to where it is now.
We joke about that when they bring something crazy up. We're like, that's not happening, and it happens. You know, they'll say it. And the biggest joke now is he says it all the time. We're going to play on the moon, and we look around and we're like, there's a good shot.
Why doubt him? You know?
Everything else that everything else that Jesse has said has like come to fruition. Like it's happened. Like, so he says we're gonna play on the moon. We're like, all right, we'll probably be there in like 2028.
Go up there for 3 days and up there for a year. Elon has to come get your ass.
Crazy trick plays up there. I heard.
Yeah, I mean, and there's a lot of things that loom. You know, just like the football stadium this year was so big for us because we were sitting
there. A lot of people.
We can't do it. How are we going to do this? All these things were like staring us in the face, and
it
like,
went perfect.
We
literally did.
Every single thing that could have went wrong didn't. Like it was the best show we've ever done. 81,000 people. We were looking it up. There's been like 7 baseball games ever with that many people.
It's a lot of people.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, they used to have a stadium. I think what's the stadium
Coliseum.
in California? Yeah, the Coliseum. But they don't have the
upper decks anymore.
Yeah, they got rid of them. So there was like 115,000 at a Dodger exhibition game one time. But other than like 6 of those, like we're right there now.
Yeah.
And like all the other college football stadiums, like they're all starting to show interest, and like who knows. Like
you guys are gonna. I mean, there's gonna be a point in the next couple of years. You guys are gonna play in front of over 100,000.
Yeah, that's.
Braves,
I mean, that's definitely his goal.
Braves and the Reds are playing at one of the NASCAR places this year.
Oh no shit!
Which I kind of thought we would do.
Indy.
Honestly,
Indy?
but
Indy 500.
Yeah,
whatever it's called.
We're kind of slotted to do Indy hopefully next year, but
really,
you know, again, it's kind of one of those things, those ideas, and their idea for it is awesome. It's going to work really well. I think it'll go pretty smooth, but then our idea for it, which like, you know, we just kind of hear rumors about kind of what they're thinking, but you know, it's not just a game. where the most of the stands are, we've got that game, but then there's a concert over on this
turn.
I
was going to say, it turns like a festival almost.
And just like blowing it up.
We could just take all 4 teams and just play two games.
We could. Might as well.
Somebody down here is watching one game, and then you're watching.
Me and Garrett can race for the player challenge around the track.
That's what we're excited for, because like last year was our first MLB stadium.
Mm-hmm.
We did like 5 of them, 1 game apiece. So that was huge for us.
Sure.
Then this year, like now we're playing a bunch of MLBs, and it's footballs that are a new one. And hopefully next year, like me and Brett are super excited. Hopefully the Party Animals can go and do our own thing at an MLB next year without these guys.
Sure.
And that'll be huge for the brand and for the whole league as a whole. Because if we can do it, then maybe a couple years the firefighters, tailgaters, whatever new.
That's a big
jacklegs are called.
That's a big party. Party Animals home game.
I mean, and now you're at a point where like you're gonna get to a point if we're all selling out MLB stadiums. Like, all right, you might get some real deal MLB talented guys saying, I don't want to go play in Sacramento for the Athletics,
Sure.
I might go over here.
Yeah.
Well, like you said, it's going to turn into a real business, and you guys are going to make like real I mean, you're probably making real paychecks now, but I mean, the money's just going to go more and more and more and more, and be more enticing to really good baseball players.
That is an interesting dynamic, though, you bring up when folks. There's going to become a day when they make a decision which route they want to go, right?
I mean, and when the Latins find out about trick plays, it's going to get wild.
On the dom rep, they're going to be ripping double back.
We got here just in time. When they find out, it's going to get crazy.
Those 13-year-olds down in the DR are going to be doing that stuff.
Yeah, it's going to get wild down here.
What's the fastest pitch you guys have ever thrown?
Like miles per hour?
Yeah.
94 one time?
102 probably.
I had a 97 before.
Really?
Yeah. I used to throw gas.
How fast do you think I could throw?
Have you played baseball?
No.
Yes, I have.
Let's see that shoulder mobility.
How long ago?
I was 7 or 8.
8 years old?
Yeah.
You might get
68.
You say you were in the SEAL teams, right?
Yeah.
They threw grenades. They tried to make grenades. They tried to make grenades the size of a baseball because back in the day, every man should be able to throw
Not many
a
people
baseball.
know that.
Yeah, no big deal. I went to Ivy League school.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Yeah, so you
insanely
could
smart.
probably get 55.
I'm going 64.
I was saying 68. I was
I would say above 60.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to hit 60.
No.
60's kind of fast, dude.
I think that rotator cuff might tear.
Forget about the curveball.
Bill, what did Bill
Was there? Did you guys ever do velocity when throwing footballs?
Yeah, at the combine they do it off to the side.
Mm-hmm.
Like, is it like 68? It's like fast, right?
Yeah, I was like high 60s.
Yeah.
How fast do you think you throw a baseball?
Oh gosh. I mean,
could
I
get it
played a
going.
lot of baseball. I mean, I was like high 80s
Really?
in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In high school,
Checks
that's
out.
really good.
Yeah, if your arm's live, your arm's
Yeah, they'll
live.
play.
Yeah.
It's a different motion though.
Yeah,
that's what I was gonna ask,
It's-
'cause-
baseball, it would fuck my shoulder. My elbow would just be on
Yeah.
fire.
That's how I built arm strength. Like every off season, my dad growing up, that was throwing a football.
Yeah.
Like that's
It's good for you.
yeah.
It's hard. I'm not very good at throwing a football.
At throwing a football?
No, I just I don't know why. I just throw it like a baseball. So it flops.
Yeah. It's different.
Yeah,
What's
when
the
I was
hardest
a quarterback
pitch
in high
to
school.
throw?
Probably a breaking ball of some sort of curveball, just because it's completely different coming out of your hand, a different grip, different style, different everything. But it's fun, we, in pro ball, 4 pitches is a lot. Some guys don't even want to throw that many because they want to dominate 2 or 3, so they can be really good at 2 or 3. And the guys that, might not throw as hard or something, they kind of need to mix it up and have more directional stuff. But now it's like,
You guys got any
I've got like
knuckleballers?
17 pitches now.
He'll pop a knuckleball out.
really?
I'm his
Now
throwing
it's-
partner, so he
it
does that
float
to me.
pretty good?
Oh yeah.
Does it?
Now
Yeah.
it's.
I
mean,
think
it's
I have the
gotten-
best knuckleball on both teams. I'll say that.
It's gotten pretty
I
fun.
throw a knuckleball back to the pitcher from the catching
Every
spot 75% of the
They
time.
hate you?
Sometimes. Yeah.
But like what we were talking about, we've played them so many times. It's fun to it's a interesting challenge to have to continue to try and advance and bring new things to the table
Yeah.
for guys that have seen you.
It's like playing rock, paper,
5,000
scissors.
times.
It's the same
Yeah.
guy for 3
Chess
years.
games, yeah. And so
I know what you're thinking. You know what I'm thinking. But do you
Yeah.
really know what I'm thinking?
Drop down, yeah.
we just make stuff up and
I'm gonna use that analogy.
Brett's one of the funniest. He came up with a pitch called the leaner, which isn't even like a real thing. And he just leans and throws it down here. And like he ripped one. We were in Miami at the beginning of the year, and he was like, I think it would be hilarious if I lobbed a ball like real high and then just sprinted directly at the hitter and like screamed like bloody murder as I was screaming at him.
And he did.
It was just like, and he did, and it worked out.
I guess that's
for him.
legal.
Yeah, it's legal.
I mean, you can get it as close as you want.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
you got
dangerous, but
the
legal.
He almost got killed.
you got the freedom here to like experiment and try things, and you know, some of it would be great. Most of it probably sucks, but
Kyle struck a guy out from second base.
Yeah, like you got the freedom to try stuff, and the ones that hit really hit, and it's like, it's cool to be encouraged to try and do that, and not even that, just like to fail, and then learn along the way, and
You
get
have a good
better at what you're
excuse too.
doing.
If something goes wrong, you're like, I'm just trying to have
something
fun. Man. What is this? It's entertaining, man.
Did you say you struck someone out from second base?
He did, yeah.
Oh,
Kyle
really?
did, yeah.
I mean,
That's
that guy,
impressive.
he couldn't live that down.
But with that, you see all the balls and the failures along the way. We've lit a ball on fire and struck somebody out.
How'd that go?
It was good. I mean, it was a lot of.
What'd you use to light it on fire?
Butane and soap.
Okay.
And then
So like a napalm?
Yeah, dunk it in there.
This guy, he's sealed.
And then, light that on fire, and the butane burns the soap off, and then.
And what about your hand?
It was good.
Really?
I didn't have any problems with it.
Burnt some hairs off, I think.
I mean, he held it and then kind of like
Shook
put it out and then threw
It
it.
wasn't real long.
Okay.
One at bat. Do you think you could? I mean, just get a piece of a ball.
Are they going like full?
Yeah, I mean, we're doing it.
Just is it right now, or do I have a week?
I'll give you 2 weeks.
I'll make contact.
You think you'll touch one?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've got hand-eye coordination.
You're right-handed, right?
Yeah.
You're both right-handed. I mean, one curveball, it's over.
Or if he just comes sprinting at you, if he's just screaming.
I can't play baseball. I can fight.
That one might be.
Yeah, you might want to be careful with that.
But
He'll go into fight or flight.
PTSD.
come flying back at her. We shouldn't joke about
Hey,
that.
Brad's
That
in
PTSD is
goal.
not funny, by the way.
Pitch comes
Especially
in
if we start
after.
shaking our ass before we throw the ball. That might throw you off.
Yeah, Brad's in chokehold. Pitch still comes down later. Yeah. Strike three.
I think I get a piece of it.
But PTSD is not funny.
Yeah.
Not funny.
No.
Unless you're playing baseball.
Unless you're making fun of Sam.
Yeah, I think I could. I really do.
Why are you so confident about this?
Hand-eye coordination. I'm just.
He also thinks that
nothing's-
seals can swim, but I mean, he's not built like a swimmer, obviously.
I can swim extremely well.
Yeah, we know. But he thinks that I can have fins on, no fins, and he's going to beat me 25 meters.
100%.
No way.
I'm not much of a fin spurt. How much does that help?
So it helps a lot.
Incredibly.
If you
Have you seen a fish?
out.
You ever seen a
fish
I know. I'm just gonna say that's not enough to beat you,
Dolphins,
obviously.
fish.
No, well, so here's the thing. They work really well when you know how to use them, right?
Yeah.
So now we've talked about this. This has been a year-long thing. We've talked about it enough, and I've told him why he was going to lose so much that something tells me he's practicing, right? Or at least watching YouTube videos and sitting in his bed, like doing the old dolphin kick, right? But this is what I think is going to happen. We're going to
How
say,
well do fins work? I mean, that's a good one.
I think this is what's going to happen. He's going to go to push off the wall. That fin's not going to bend right, and he's not going to sit against the wall right. He's going to get a bad push off the wall, and I'm going to rock it off that wall, and I'm not coming up for air or anything like that, and I'm just going to glide, boom, 3, 4 poles, and I'm across that pool.
What are we waiting
Now
for?
I think you've thought about it way more than he has.
Yeah, I think you prepared.
He dreams about it.
This is his field day, dude. Biggest thing ever.
That's the shit.
Super Bowl.
Yeah, and you know, I'm aerodynamic. Look,
Ooh.
he
Yeah,
has a damn
go
mane
for
up
it.
there. I mean, are you gonna wear a swim cap?
I mean, Amazon Prime. I get one tonight.
But yeah, that's the bet we have going on.
I'd like to see it.
Yeah,
You
I'd
guys
like it.
also, they need to start doing get wet bets.
Oh shit! This
So-
is the biggest.
Yeah, go ahead.
The biggest bet you can make, right? And it's something we used to do in the SEAL teams. First, it started like an easy bet would be like a $5 foot long. That used to be the bet, right? But everything was a $5 foot long. And then we just started thinking of like, hey, what else can we bet? Then we found the ultimate bet, and it's a get wet bet. So you and I make a bet, I lose, you have a get wet bet on me. It means anytime, any place you say get wet, I have to fully submerge myself in the closest body of water.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, whether I FaceTime you or whatever, just hit it. And you can empty your pockets, no hesitation, and you're getting.
We'll do that tonight in Nashville.
Yeah,
we'll do it during the game tomorrow.
Your buddy was. You guys were out one time, and who had to do it?
Oh shit! It's happened 100 times.
Oh, okay.
But I've seen guys or heard of guys. I haven't seen it at a wedding.
Yeah, my mind went to a wedding.
Yeah, and
pop up
out at the bar, you're feeling good. It's Friday, 8 p.m. Folks are starting to roll in. Couple, 3 drinks deep. You're like, yeah. And then your buddy looks at you. Hit it. And you gotta go get a fresh. And you're like, what am I gonna do now? I feel like an idiot, just soaking wet at the bar. Right. So what do? Go home and in the night. It's like you put them in the.
It's a pretty good one. You guys should incorporate that for the road.
I like that idea.
Yeah.
I don't think I have any get wet bets on you.
I think we have like 5 on Samantha.
And a couple
I was kind of hoping you were about to rip one right now.
Yeah.
You're gonna see Brett.
We're square.
See Brett run off screen tomorrow night.
We're good. We got a bunch on some people though.
Yeah, we made a hefty bet one time. It was me and him against 3 or 4 folks. So they would each get one on us if we lost, but we won. Now we got we each have one on them. So instead of having 4 people having to get wet bet on us, so
That's hilarious. As soon as you see a pond, you're looking around. You're like,
Yeah.
oh,
who's got a bet?
this is the one I think you're talking about. We were it was cold as hell. We were on a little training trip, and it was late at night. We're walking through in some marshy area, and the top of the water just started freezing, so it was like a little thick to walk through, and it's muddy and shitty out, and there's and real cold. There's a big pond over to our right, and you just hear, I'll stop, and no one says I'll stop on the radio unless you're in charge, and everyone knows each other's voice, and this guy was clearly not in charge, so I was like, what the fuck's going on? So it could be an emergency or something like that. And you just hear, JD, get wet. and we had all night to go. I think we might have had to stay out that night, but it was cold, shitty evening, and we're like 10 minutes into our patrol, into I don't know, I forget what we were doing, but we were at the earliest we're probably coming home at like 3-4 in the morning, and at the latest the next day. I forget which one we were doing that on that particular trip. This guy had to go all night soaking wet.
That's miserable.
Oh yeah.
I had one of those when I was
friend.
I think I was 12. I was hunting in Kentucky, and it was like one of the first times I sat without my dad, and I had to cross a creek.
Are you from Kentucky?
No, I'm from Jacksonville, Florida.
Oh, okay.
But we hunted there a lot growing up. But I had to cross a creek, and it was probably 25 degrees, and I fell and got soaked. And then had to go hunt. It was a morning hunt. Oh my God. I was butt naked in the stand, shivering because my clothes were frozen. Could have sworn.
Where in Kentucky?
It was in Cadiz.
Oh yeah.
Yep. We hunted there for probably 6 or 7 years. Hunted a little bit in Hopkinsville.
Yeah, I got a farm in Hopkinsville.
That's where a lot of people from Florida go. It's like the closest.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Got a farm in Crofton.
Oh nice. Yeah, my taxidermist, he's actually coming to the game this weekend. He lives in Crofton.
Who is it?
His name's Kenny Crosby.
I don't know.
He moved from Florida to there.
When?
I'd say he moved probably 3 or 4 years ago.
I gotta ask
You guys probably have the same.
He's really good.
Does he do turkeys?
I'm sure. He's won like a national.
Let me ask my Kenny what?
Kenny
Crosby?
Crosby, yep. Shout out, Coach Kenny. I'll see you tonight. Or tomorrow night. He's my football coach.
You've had that deer for 18 months now. Hurry up.
Yeah, he has a lot of my.
I need a turkey guy up there.
I'm sure he does turkeys. So.
And you do a lot of hunting as well, right?
Yeah.
And you have your outdoor bills.
Yeah,
right?
outdoor bills. Yeah, started that up this past year. So we take our travel rods with us everywhere we go, pack them in our bag. We go fishing pretty much we've caught a fish in pretty much every city.
Really?
So far, me and a couple other guys. So
in every city, you say. So give me an example. Like you're going to fish on the Cumberland, or you find little ponds?
River here. Yeah, there was buddy Stilts caught Stilts, and you'll see him tomorrow night. He caught like a 9-pound drum last year.
Oh, really?
River here, yeah. So
impressive.
More fishing than hunting.
More fishing than hunting now.
Yeah.
I grew up hunting a ton, and just with banana ball, just middle Georgia, South Georgia. deer hunting, turkey hunting, duck hunting, squirrel hunting, whatever season's in.
Sure.
And but yeah, a lot more fishing now, just because I don't have a ton of time to really have an off season.
Yep.
So
Outdoor Bills. You got an Instagram? Where can people find it?
Instagram page. Yeah.
Outdoor Bills on Instagram.
Check it out. Yeah. Last year in Houston, we played a game. It was our first time playing in a big league stadium. We played in Houston, played the game, beat these guys, and then the next morning we met a guy. He took us from Houston all the way down to Corpus Christi, and we didn't sleep at all. Ate food after the game, drove down, immediately got in a boat, fished from like 5 a.m. to like midday, caught all kind of fish, drum, trout, fishing in Corpus Christi. And then that night, he had a connection to not the King Ranch, but Kennedy Ranch in Texas. He had a connection there. We got to go hunt nilgai and shoot a hog. It was
you had a day.
It was a full day. So
did you eat the nilgai? I hear they're delicious.
So we didn't. We ended up. He's sending me some meat right now, but we didn't end up not seeing a nilgai. I shot a hog that evening. So fished that morning, shot a hog that evening. Then he took us all the way back. But he just shot a nilgai recently, and he's sending me a bunch of meat. Supposedly the ground beef is mixed with brisket or something something. So he's sending me a bunch of it. Yeah.
Sounds like a good guy to
delicious.
Know. Yeah.
You guys do any hunting growing up or anything?
Yeah, my grandfather got me, he was always outdoorsy, so we'd always have something new every couple of years. So when it was surfing, then it was fishing, a little bit of hunting. So he kind of did that. But, recently my brother's been obsessed. So like I love just kind of like giving my younger brother, Chad right there, just kind of the reins. And we just kind of roll with it. So we get to go home. We're going to fly home and see our mom on Mother's Day and see my sister and her kids. And we're probably going to go shoot some turkeys on Monday afterwards. But that's been something really cool for me as like older brother, just to like be like, dude, you're whatever you do, you're just in charge of it. So he's got all the stuff. And he took me duck hunting, so I just love, as you grow older, it's kind of cool, like having something as kids, what we did, what was fun. And now me and him, we golf and we hunt. So I just let him set it all up, and he sends me all the stuff to get all of our, all my points set up, and we're stash as many points as we can. And we're,
can you start doing my points too?
Looking forward to the days that we can do some massive trip,
yeah.
Someday. But that's been really cool for me, just to let him, kind of handle it. Like, let's go. Where do you want to go? Let's do it. What do you need me to do? Let's do it. And,
you guys got anything good lined up this year?
Yeah, he's got us. So we've got all of our antelope stuff going. We got our elk stuff going.
Where are you going for antelope and elk?
That'll be Colorado.
Okay.
Yeah. So I bought a bunch of farmland last year, and then so we've got all those tags for the antelope, and that'll be a cool one. And then at home, the networking is awesome just because Colorado, you can kind of go anywhere, just really who you know. And so him and his buddies got a lot of plugs on a lot of the public land, and then I'm kind of facilitating the private land. And, we got some stuff set up, and I got hoping to get these guys taken care of when we go out in October, late September, October. And that's going to be pretty exciting for us. Just there's a bunch of hunts really kind of where I grew up in Colorado Springs, and just 75,000, 100,000 acres, and these people that just love us. And, some people I've grown up with and stuff that just got the plugs. And if you know the right people, you can go down and,
absolutely.
Unlimited. My cousin's he loves going down to Gunnison, and they've got just amazing stuff down there, and they get elk every year. So that's kind of what we have our sights set on as far as this year. So if we can snag a turkey next week, that'll be cool. And but it's all kind of looking towards the elk in this fall.
Same.
I didn't get a turkey this year.
Samantha didn't either.
You got a grip of them.
Got a couple of them.
But real talk,
killing our turkey vibes right now.
Yeah.
We have an off week next week, so I got 2 days. The last 2 days of the Georgia season.
It's been weird. It's been weird in Tennessee and Kentucky. I mean, I bet we have 35 Jakes on the farm.
Really?
40 Jakes. I mean, there's Jakes everywhere. And they're just running gobblers off all the hens.
Goodness.
I mean, we had like 15 guys up to the farm last weekend, and I mean we had 8 groups out, and they would see 8 to 7 Jakes grouped up. You call a couple times, they come screaming in.
It's gonna be a war zone next year.
Oh
yeah. You guys need some help with
it's
that.
It's gonna be crazy next year.
That's your Kentucky farm?
Yeah, it's in Crofton.
Yeah.
There we're running like 2,500 acres or so now.
That's
good.
nice.
If you guys want to kill a deer this year, let me know.
Come on.
For real.
I was scrolling through some of y'all's Instagram stuff. I saw I don't know how long ago, a deer was standing up on its own than a massive deer.
Oh yeah,
huge deer.
I killed him last year. He was 185 or so.
Yeah.
But he was only a 5-year-old. We were trying to get him to. I wanted to get him to 6, but
then he saw him.
Yeah,
I did one out here, but he was also one of the deer that he just wouldn't. He wouldn't sit where he's supposed to be. He hit. He was running every feeder all on the property lines. I was like, I can't let anybody else get him.
You bow hunt or you shoot him with the you shoot him with a bow or you shoot with a rifle?
Because we opened the first weekend of September bow. And then bow goes all the way.
It's for Kentucky?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then bow goes all the way to November for the most part. We have we have muzzleloader and a couple. It's only $1 stay. So once you get your buck, you're done.
Oh, it's $1 for resident as well? Or?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. Everyone's $1. And then I think you get like 3 does with your tag or so.
Yeah, I mean, the rules are insane. And just like us talking, let him go through all the Colorado stuff because that's where we're going to go. And then I hear Florida's rules and Georgia's rules, and they're all so
every state's different. It's rough. And then I've got a ranch in Montana, and they change their rules about every 2 years. So
it is so hard,
especially once you get into elk. I mean, elk. I haven't gotten into elk. One because I don't. I mean, just
you should.
Yeah. I want to very badly.
Once you get into elk, I mean, that's the only thing you're going to be into.
Right. But just getting points. I mean, you can't even. Colorado is it done with out of state?
Don't ask me.
I think they changed it this year to where out of states can't get. You have to put in for a draw.
Okay.
Like it used to be over the counter. Colorado and one other state was
Montana's a draw.
Yeah.
I didn't draw this year.
And part of that's kind of why I'm not changing my residency because it's going to be.
No, I wouldn't change residency.
I'm just going to stick with it because that'll always be my home. But I bought a place in Savannah. It's like I'm not going to change that because then all those rules will change, and I don't want any of that.
Yeah, that's the good thing about deer. I mean, few states have draws, but for the most part, in the Southeast, you're just buy a tag.
So, what are you guys doing for Mother's Day? It's 2 days away.
We have an off day in Nashville.
Yeah.
I'll be heading down to Venice, Louisiana. Me and my buddy Dalton, we're doing 2 different fishing charters down there. And
I mean, gift-wise.
Gift-wise, probably send her some flowers, maybe.
Did you order flowers?
Caller.
No, I haven't done anything yet. That's what I'm asking. I was talking to Mary about this at like 6:15 this morning, my 5-year-old. And she told me to get Katie a new backpack. So
you need to order some flowers today.
Okay. Yeah.
Pink party animal jersey.
There we go.
Text Kaylin.
Okay.
She's got a girl that does really good stuff.
Just flowers is what you?
Yeah, I mean flowers and maybe like cook breakfast in the morning.
All right.
That's good.
You got it.
Yeah, I just feel like I'm unaware of is this a buy gift holiday or just a flowers holiday?
This is a flowers holiday. Have the girls make some cards.
Homemade cards. They made tons of shit at school and stuff.
Yeah, you're good to go. Cards, make some breakfast.
Cool.
Have some champagne Sunday morning. Make her a little mimosa.
Good idea.
Clean up the kitchen. You're good to go.
Perfect. Got it.
This is for your wife or your mom?
My wife.
True.
Yeah.
True. I thought you were talking about your mom.
No.
Yeah, I think it's more of like an acts of service holiday.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, someone's read 5 love languages. We're talking. All right. I love.
So after Nashville, where are you guys going next? Bye week, and then
it actually gets really interesting.
Yeah, that's when we split up. So that's when we go on our tour. We go to Albuquerque and Reno, playing the new team, the Tailgaters.
Okay.
So it'll be their debut and our headlining games.
Oh, really?
And they're going to Kansas City and Anaheim, and they'll be playing the Firefighters.
Yeah.
Breaking up the teams.
Yeah. And then we come back and we play at the Panther Stadium against each other again for 2 nights.
2 games there, yeah.
And then we don't really play each other till October or something like that.
And they're doing a really cool. They're going on a college tour.
Sure.
They're doing like LSU, Mississippi State, like playing at those college parks.
Because LSU at night.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
LSU, Mississippi State.
What's
the other one? Arkansas.
Yeah. And their games will be super fun too. Like they're playing the Texas Tailgaters, so like they have the greatest tailgate in sports. So like people will be there super early tailgating, and then afterwards is the greatest party in sports, whatever you guys say. And they'll also be having multiple bands going on after and tailgate before, so those games will be
Whenever
fun.
I was at Vandy, we played LSU at night, and we went down there. We weren't very good, and we went down there. We stuck in that game, but till the fourth quarter. But we got down there, and you're kind of going through swampland shit and stuff, and beer started getting pelted out the bus. And you get off the bus, and the tiger's in a cage, mic'd up. They're rattling the cage. He's going crazy. You're walking off the bus. I'm like, this is not going to go well for us.
They had a real tiger in a cage.
For the van.
Oh, yeah. What's his name?
Who put the
We
mic
saw
on
the tiger
him?
last year.
Yeah, he was there. I can't remember.
What's the name
That's
of the tiger?
insane.
Mike.
the
That's
tiger,
right.
yeah.
Yeah, but I was like, this is a different world down
Yeah,
there.
you don't want to play football after that.
Yeah,
So with party animals, do you guys like do beer bongs out there at all?
Oh yeah, we have a little ginger second baseman. His big thing is he chugs a beer before he hits once a game. So
Really?
he does that. Yeah,
All
a lot
right.
of our run saves will be like beer pong or something like that. We have a band called Party Down. They're awesome. They party the whole game and after the game. So yeah, a lot of our stuff is college themed. Obviously, that's why we're doing the college tour. So we're definitely gonna be doing some college themed stuff during that.
Do
We
you
try
got-
to keep it, not nothing crazy, but
Do you guys have any rookie initiation things like new guy Olympics or anything like that?
We should, to be honest.
We should. We
haven't
don't.
really.
We had the sickest new guy Olympics. Like, I mean, it was difficult at times, but
yeah, I'm sure it's
With
a
the
lot
SEAL
more hard.
team?
yeah.
Yeah, it's probably a little different.
I'm scared to know that.
I was just thinking one of them was
You had to
work
get
at
shot.
extremes. Like they just one extreme after another.
you had to smoke a Marlboro Red as fast as you could, chug a
Hell
beer,
yeah.
and then sprint. I think it was about a half-mile loop. So, so do that 4 times.
Start
and-
training every week.
and then finish it by
You had
smoking
to-
a
you had to
cigarette.
okay.
You know, you have to stand there and rip that thing down as
Yeah.
fast as you can, and you have to inhale.
And drink a beer.
Yeah.
Run a
Yeah, and that was just one. It started with like we'd come out all dressed up and marching around, and then we had to do skit. And our skits, you always make fun of the older guys. So the brand new guys make fun of the older guys.
Yeah.
and that's always entertaining.
Yeah, we would do skits. We would
Yeah.
have like a skit night, and the
I did that
young
when I was
guys
like
would have
my
to
first
come
year
up
in
with
college.
something.
Did you?
We had
Yeah.
to do like all the freshmen had to
Yep.
put on a little skit,
Mhm.
and that was actually probably
Yeah.
the coolest thing I ever did.
That was fun.
Because they
heard of
did it
that.
like after, they did it at like Christmas break, so you got to learn about the new team. You
Yeah.
just that was probably the funnest one.
Then we had a hot 40 chug. So you have to,
Oh my
it's
God.
as hot as it could be, right?
And you run a marathon after that?
a hot 40 chug, and then there was we did this. There was a bunch of, I would say, eggs. There were eggs out there in the center, and if there was 15 guys, there was 14 eggs, right? So whoever didn't come back with an egg was eliminated.
So it was just a fight.
So, so we all go in the first round of trying to get eggs.
you guys
There
break
was a
them all?
broken nose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
And like, there was a little fight broke out. This guy named Aaron, my buddy Mike, broke his nose, jacked him up, and it just turned into a brawl. And they're like, all right, this game's over. And then went into, you have to bob for shooters, airplane shot bottles there, and a bucket of ice water, which is harder than you would think. And there's all sorts of shit in there, like gross stuff, dip spit. And
dead mouse. And
then it was a whole. Those are the ones I remember. It was a whole day.
I'm glad y'all brought that up. We should definitely look into getting some initiation tactics going.
I got a lot of good games. If you guys, need supporters,
I might get a little list going for the boys.
Yeah, we just love the joke of, something outrageous and be like, we all did it. You got to do it. And then before they did it, we're like, all right, just kidding. We didn't actually do that. But if we do,
you
that'd be
guys
kinda
are
fun.
much nicer than I think the crew that he ran with.
Yeah.
you guys invited the real tough dancing baseball team.
They've got practice.
Yep. So I really appreciate you guys coming on, man.
Yeah, dude,
thank
this
you,
was
thank you
awesome.
so
I
much.
appreciate
And
you
I
guys.
hope you guys enjoy Nashville and have a fun day tomorrow. Fun game.
You all coming to the game?
I'm going to try. I think we have some
Be a good Mother's
media
Day
passes or something like
Yeah.
that.
Good Mother's Day gift. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. Now we're talking.
Yeah, it's gonna be a wild one.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll like it. You'll see the mesh of pretty high level sports and entertainment and karaoke and dancing all.
Who's the
together.
best singer?
We actually have some really, really good singers. Talented
Yeah,
ones, yeah.
nobody in this group.
Dalton Malden's a good singer. He's on the
it's from Nashville that,
Yeah.
that writes songs and stuff.
All right.
And he plays second base. So
Jason Arndt. He's on the Tailgaters. He's a good
Yeah.
singer. He's trying to be a country music singer. And
I hope we do something. But that guy they said on the Bananas, he's with a label here as well.
Oh, really?
Label. So he'll, on our off days, it's kind of funny what guys do on their off days. Sometimes, lots of times he'll fly here and record and come back.
Oh, wow.
And he's pretty legit. So he sings every game. So we can see
and we got some surprise music guests coming in.
Sure.
That'll be pretty cool.
Hell yeah. Well, thanks, boys. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it, guys. Good luck. And
absolutely.
Love the direction this thing's going for you guys.
Yes, sir.
Should be fun.
Cool.
Cheers to the Outsiders, man.
Yeah. Appreciate you, bud.